Are physical books going extinct? In today's world, there's so many different formats. It can be difficult to decide between buying a physical book, ebook, or audiobook. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the benefits and drawbacks between the different reading formats to find the perfect reading setup for you to maximize your reading. And don't worry, I know I have a bunch of physical books back here, but I've tried all the reading formats that we'll be discussing today. And when it comes to deciding between the different reading formats, I really break it down into three main categories. You have cost and accessibility, which is really just looking at how expensive is it between the different formats. Then lifestyle and convenience, and which reading format is most convenient for your day-to-day life. And thirdly, the reading experience and which format is going to help maximize your learning experience. With costs and accessibility, you got to pay to play. These books, you can find them for free, but mostly you're going to have to pay for them. And so when it comes to costs, usually ebooks are already less expensive than physical books, and ebooks are more commonly to be found on sales as well. So even though they're usually about half the sticker price of physical books, you can usually find them even cheaper than that because ebooks go on sale very often. So you can find them for a few dollars online depending where you look. Audiobooks, I would say, are also a bit cheaper than physical books depending on the physical book you're comparing it to, as some physical books are usually anywhere from 20 to about another 40% more expensive than the audiobooks, because audiobooks is just usually subscription based, so it doesn't really matter what book you get, you just pay the consistent rate per month. And with subscriptions, usually you can also pay not only subscriptions for audiobooks, but you can pay for subscriptions for ebooks as well, and that allows you to pay again a monthly fee, but then you can go ahead and have access to a large database of different books or a large library of books. So it also depends, how often do you read? Do you find yourself reading about one book a week, on average 4 books per month? If that's the case, it might be more cost effective to go ahead and pay for an ebook subscription, because usually, it's a rough estimate, but usually a monthly ebook subscription is going to set you back about one physical book. So if you can read more than about one book per month, then in terms of a cost basis, it's actually more cost effective to just pay for a monthly subscription. So you do have to go ahead and take some time to just figure out what your costs look like. And then I think another factor when it comes to costs is just looking at sunk costs. Whether you want to read ebooks or you want to get physical books do require a library. I mean, unless you want to stack them on the floor as high as they go. But generally, you're going to want to store your physical books on a library, which does cost more money. And even with ebooks, you usually want to go ahead and have some sort of an e-reader to go ahead and aggregate all your digital books as well. And so this does cost some money, and that's definitely something to think about. You can find it pre-owned, used online, but that's an additional cost you would have to account for as well. Next up, we have lifestyle and convenience. With this, you really have to think about what your day-to-day really looks like. And it just takes a little bit of self-reflection. Are you a commuter? Do you work from home? What does your lifestyle really look for? And that way you can have a better understanding of which reading format is going to work better for your personal lifestyle. Have you ever tried to, while on your commute home, whip out a book and it's just super cramped and you're not really able to read as effectively because you're so stuffed in there, you just like awkwardly holding your book there, and there's people all around you? It can be a bit awkward. So in terms of on-the-go traveling and commuting, I found that ebooks and audiobooks are certainly a much better fit. Especially when traveling long periods, I find carrying an e-reader is much more useful in terms of having to carry less weight and you have more space in your baggage. Because imagine you want to carry 4 or 5 big, thick, heavy books in your bag and you already have so much limited space. An e-reader, you slim it down and now you can carry as many books as you want in that single device. Very easy, very portable. With audiobooks, they're also really great for traveling, as long as you have some nice earbuds or some headphones that you can go ahead and use while you travel as well. And they're usually just on your phone that you can go ahead and just carry it. And now you have several hours worth of reading on the go and wherever you decide to travel. And so both ebooks and audiobooks are great because you can hold several different books, whereas with physical books, usually your max is 3 to 10 books at most. I mean, 10 books would be your entire luggage unless you carry a second bag. I've also found that audiobooks are really primed for those that are trying to multitask. If I'm going to do dishes, if I'm perhaps walking in between meetings, then I'm going to go ahead and listen to an audiobook. Even when I go for a run, I do my best to just listen to an audiobook because it's going to be weird to run with a physical book. I mean, you could do it, but it's going to be a little weird. But with audiobooks, I can go ahead and be physically stimulated while I run and work out, but I can also be mentally stimulated and think through and just listen to a narrator reading the book out to me. So audiobooks are really great for multitasking. But one little side note for physical books in terms of lifestyle and convenience, I found that with carrying a physical book, it's a really great way to spark conversation with fellow readers out there. So if you're traveling or you're at work or school or wherever you're at, it's definitely a fun way to capture other readers' attention because other people will notice a book, and I'll definitely notice other people carrying a physical book, and I'll try to spark up conversation. Oh, hey, I noticed you're reading Robert Greene. What's your favorite takeaway? Oh, wow, you've read this other book? Oh, wow. And now all of a sudden you're talking to a fellow reader, discussing your favorite authors, discussing your favorite books. And it's certainly a very fun way to get to know the reading community just because they're carrying this physical book. So that's something to also think about. Next, we have the actual reading experience. Physical books can be great because they provide a tangible experience. You can go ahead and just flip through the pages, highlight, mark them up, dog ear pages, whatever physical thing you can imagine you can do with your physical book. Now for ebooks, I found being able to adjust the font size and having backlighting, so if you want to read at night, very beneficial, very useful for reading later at night. But you can also go ahead and highlight different sections of the book that you want. And go ahead and start aggregating notes while you read your chapters and then while you read the book. So by the end of the book, you have all your notes aggregated at different pages, and you can go ahead and review your notes all in one place. Very beneficial as well. And the reading experience for audiobooks, of course, is really great for any auditory learners. Anybody who really enjoys listening to a narrator being told the actual story. Sometimes I've actually found that my recall is a bit better from the audiobooks that I read because I just remember learning and listening about the story better from someone else reading it to me than just sort of me reading it to myself in my head. I don't know why, but I found that with audiobooks, sometimes my recall is actually better. But also a fun hack is you can go ahead and listen to audiobooks and then also have the physical book. And so instead of just sitting there only listening to the audiobook, you can actually go ahead and scan through the physical book and listen to the audiobook. So you have both the physical book there to visually see the words, but while you're also being read the story from the narrator with your audiobook. Of course, it increases costs, but it certainly has helped with developing the reading habit and being able to really enjoy the audio experience more by also having that physical sensation there with you. So we went ahead and took a look at cost and accessibility, at lifestyle and convenience, as well as the actual reading experience itself. Personally, I found that reading physical books is what I enjoy most, but it depends on my situation. As we discussed, lifestyle. If I'm traveling, you're certainly going to find me with an e-reader and maybe one physical book because I don't want to carry all my books in my bag and take up all that space. But also, when it comes to working out or if I'm multitasking, I'm not going to have a physical book. I'm not going to have an e-reader. I want to take advantage of my audiobooks. So I found finding a blend of the three personally works better for me. There are certainly days where I wish I didn't have my physical library and I just had everything in a e-reader because it makes things much easier in terms of accessing the information right away wherever I am, as long as I have my ebook. But I also really love and enjoy having my physical library as well. So when it comes to finding the right reading format for you, I think it's best to take some time for some personal reflection. What do you value the most? Cost and accessibility, lifestyle and convenience, or the actual reading experience itself? These are all going to be dependent on you personally and whatever fits best for your life. I hope this really gets you thinking and open to other reading experiences. If you have a preferred reading format, please feel free to comment down below what your favorite format is, what you found you enjoy, and what you don't enjoy from the other reading formats, because we're all here to learn together. Remember, today's a great day to have a great day. So have a great day, and thanks for watching.